Well, thank you very much for joining us. So to start off with, could you just explain a little bit about Aladdin to us?
Aladdin, well, it's a classic story. Everyone loves it. You know, it's one of Disney's ones. Even like the classic pantomime, everyone knows the story. Everyone's excited when they hear about the genie or the princess, or whatever. So it's just a great story and it's a lot of fun.
So what's it like performing at the Broadway Theatre?
It's so close to London, yeah, but just a little bit just outside, so you get all kinds of cultures there, everywhere. The Broadway, it's a lovely theatre. You can see all the way to the top as well, and it's just lovely and cosy.
How have the audiences been taking it so far? I saw lots of excited school children.
They are crazy.
Oh.
They are absolutely loving it. They love Ebenezer, who plays the evil villain. They absolutely love it to bits. They're joining in everything, and it's so nice when you hear them joining in and singing, because they're having a good time.
Yeah. So it's for kids. It's so magical to go see a pantomime, especially like Aladdin, where it's all about magic and.
Yeah, exactly. And when they see the lamp, they really want to help Aladdin on his journey and help him get away from the evil villain, and it's just great. It's just fun. It's just something you can just scream, shout, join in, do what you like, instead of some theatres you have to sit down and just be really quiet and listen. But this one you could just let yourself go and just scream if you see a mummy, or boo the evil guy. It's great. It's a lot of fun. I feel very privileged to be able to do that, be part of the cast as well. It's great.
So can you explain a little bit to us about your job?
It involves networking with people from the area and organisations within the area to get them to come and participate in activities at the Broadway.
What type of organisations does that include?
We work with such a broad and diverse set of people that it does literally include anybody. So it would be community groups, and that would sort of cover anybody from children's centres to local groups that exist here as well. So you have sort of quite a lot of faith groups in the area. We aim to genuinely serve the community in which we are situated. So we try and sort of reach out to all members of that community and involve them in our programme here, whether that be sort of making accessible the professional programme of work that's happening here, or actually just getting them to come in and enjoy taking part in the performing arts, really. So it's about creating opportunities for people in the area and in the borough that may not actually necessarily have had access to those opportunities in the past. We have a very vibrant and diverse youth theatre group here that comprises of 120 young people, all the way through from 5 up to sort of 19. Some of them have been with us a very long time. They work with people that have themselves worked in the industry and have industry-related experience, so they get something different than they would normally get in a school or in other sort of youth groups and that kind of thing. They're getting a very different experience here. And we don't have an audition policy, so it's just about people that can commit to coming to the sessions. Again, open door with that. And we have got a reputation for being a really friendly sort of place to come along and do voluntary activities at. So that's a reputation that we want to uphold on every level, really. We have a group called Close Knit, who meet on a Friday morning, who are of pensionable age, and they just come in and they sit in this very area and they make some amazing things, from scarves to handbags to whatever, and they have a good chat and they have a coffee and sometimes a bit of cake as well. So
What do you think it would mean for the community if the funding is cut from the Broadway?
I think it would have an absolutely devastating effect. Cultural provision in this area is very low already. I think this community deserve a theatre. I think they deserve to be able to engage with and see at affordable prices a professional programme, and I think that they deserve to have opportunities to get involved in the arts and enjoy that experience, whatever that might mean to them. And I think it would be absolutely terrible if it were to close or not to function in the way that it is currently functioning.
Okay. Very best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So could you tell us a bit about your roles here at the Broadway?
I've been here now for nearly 3 years. In January it'll be 3 years. The job came up for, I think it was called something else actually when I applied for it, and they were looking for a new direction for the organisation. So it just seemed like a really great opportunity, and I was really interested in the area. And for me, I'm very passionate about giving access to arts to real and ordinary people. So this was a real opportunity to kind of put my politics where my mouth was, really, and do that and try and deliver that in an area that really needed some cultural activity to be happening that was relevant and resonant with the people that lived here.
I was actually invited to join the board. So I've only been in post for 8 months, and prior to that, for about 6 months before that, I was actually on the board. And Karina and I have worked kind of in the same circles, but we've actually never worked together until now. And the opportunity to work here, which is a local theatre to me, with Karina, was just too good an opportunity to miss.
So tell us about the Broadway Theatre then. What's it all about? Give us a general feel.
The Broadway is an art centre, actually. So we do all the performing arts, so comedy, drama, music. We have lots of work for children, and we're working with audiences from sort of 3 to 83 all the way through. So it's a very, very varied programme, which makes it always interesting, always keeps it on your toes. We also have a lot of participation work, so it's about finding ways to engage with audiences, which are not necessarily always about coming and watching a show. It might be coming and doing a workshop, or coming look at the gallery, come and have lunch. So there are lots of different ways in which we interact with people, and really it's about creating a hub and a place where people want to be and hang out and watch show and interact with arts as well.
And there's a lot of confidence building about being around and knowing that you can hold your own, you can project your voice, you can walk in comfortably into a place that you're not familiar with. And that's what being around the building encourages.
You guys are the only kind of theatre in the borough of Barking and Dagenham, which seems crazy to me. So then why do you think it is that the funding cuts?
You know, it's unrealistic to think that there would be no changes to funding, because obviously there's less money around, and they're having to cut other resources in the council. But what obviously is a shock is that they're deciding to, or they're proposing to cut the grant entirely. As the only cultural resource for professional work in the borough, it's a huge tragedy for the audiences here. Actually, it's not an area where people say, "Oh well, we'll go down the road to another theatre." This is their local theatre, and they feel very attached to this particular place rather than theatres in general.
And can you explain to us what the funding actually covers in the theatre, what it helps?
So the funding is it opens the doors, it pays for the staff, it sort of turns on the lights. The very basic stuff, and what we raise and the income that we generate pays for the content in the building. The funding that the income that we generate and the funding that we attract from other trusts and foundations is absolutely match funding to that core grant. So if that core grant goes, then so does the other money as well. The audiences that come to our pantomime, I'm absolutely certain are not going to other people's pantomimes, partly because of cost and locality and that connection to the area. So I don't think that what will happen is that we'll have a kind of huge amount of people that will gain to theatre in general. I think people will just stop having that access. And it's actually counter to all of the regeneration aims of the borough, which is about wanting people to come into Barking and to find out more about the borough and access it and you know, get businesses here and all that kind of stuff, but it's not.
And because the theatre does draw its audience from not just the borough, but from the surrounding boroughs, people do walk from the tube station through town to get to us and back again. And they will not be doing that if this building isn't alive and vibrant.
So how has public reaction been since the decision was announced?
Response has been from our users, from colleagues in the industry, from promoters, artists and participants has been very, very positive. People have been writing to their local councillors, writing to the leader of the council. So there's been very positive feedback and kind of people talking about their personal experiences of being here and why they think it's important. I think it has that effect on people, and I think that's the point, that people feel at home here, and actually then we're doing our job right if people come here and feel at home.